This is KG Misra. I'm here with the next video of class 10th, that is on the second chapter, that is magnetic effects of current. Okay, that means when current is flowing through a conductor, then how it is going to produce the magnetic effect, okay, or it is going to behave as a magnet, that we are going to discuss in this chapter, and how we can apply this effect, okay, on different devices and get the advantage of it. Now see, before going to it, no, we have studied about the current, but we have not studied about the magnet. Now, what is magnet? Okay, we must know about it. Only then we can go to the magnetic effect of current. Now, see, when we are talking about the magnet, no, in our childhood days or now also, okay, when you find a piece of magnet, always what you do, you try to bring a blade near it and sticks, okay. And when you are taking that magnet to different metallic surfaces, what you find? Some metallic surfaces get attracted towards it. But what about the others? Like that aluminium bucket you are having at your house. What happens? Does it gets attracted towards that magnet? No way. Why? What is the reason? See, my dear children, actually what is magnet and how see, actually magnet, no, magnet is a material, okay, which attracts the ferromagnetic substances towards it. What is ferromagnetic substance? You write the definition. What is magnet? Write the definition of magnet. A material which attracts ferromagnetic substances towards it is called magnet. Okay. Now, what are ferromagnetic substances? Let me tell you. It is basically iron, nickel, and cobalt. These are basically the ferromagnetic substances: iron, nickel, cobalt. And magnet attracts these substances strongly. Okay. Now, magnets are of two types. One is natural, another is artificial or man-made. Okay. So, what is a natural magnet? Obviously, which is obtained naturally. Okay. It is mined from the earth's crust, like coal. You get, no, you get petroleum from the earth. In the same way, the natural magnet is also mined from that, and that is Fe2O3. We call it magnetite also. Okay. This is one of the ore of the iron. Do you know what is ore? You would study it in chemistry. There are different minerals of iron. Okay. Out of those minerals, there are certain minerals from which we can extract iron cost effectively. Means by using lesser cost, okay, or by investing lesser money, we can get the iron out of it. That mineral of iron is called its ore, and this is one of the ores of iron. Okay, very common ores of iron, and we call it magnetite. You can see this is one type of iron oxide. Okay, and this behaves as a magnet, and this is the natural magnet. Okay, now what is artificial magnet? How we can make artificial magnet? See, artificial magnet, actually when you take a piece of iron, nickel or cobalt and place it in contact of a magnet, okay, suppose this is a big magnet, okay, and you are keeping near this. So what happens? Or you keep in contact with this. What you will find? This is a magnet. Suppose it has got north and south poles, okay. Magnets have two poles, north pole and south pole, okay. So suppose you are keeping in contact with this, okay, you'll find this material also get magnetized. Okay. So when it gets magnetized, it was not taken out from the earth's crust, but you have taken this and magnetized this. So you will get a new magnet, and this is called man-made magnet or artificial magnet. Okay. So we have got lots of artificial magnets of different shape. According to shape, we give the name, like bar magnet, horseshoe magnet. Okay, different types of magnets are there. Okay. Now, after this, I will like to discuss properties of magnet. So better you put the heading properties of magnet. Properties of magnet. Properties of magnet. Okay. Now see, first property. Very simple. The magnet attracts the ferromagnetic substances like iron, nickel, cobalt, and attracts and repels to the other magnet. Okay. Second, magnet has got two poles, that is north and that is south. Okay, it has got two poles. Okay. Third, when a magnet is freely suspended, when a magnet is freely suspended, what is the meaning of freely suspended? Suppose this is a magnet. You can see this, so nice of it, no? Suppose this is the north pole and this head is south pole, and you are going to tie this with the thread and you are going to suspend it freely. Okay, if you suspend it freely using a thread, no, what you will find? You will find that, suppose you are going to suspend it freely like this. What you will find, no, as it is free to rotate, no, so what it will do? Suppose this is the north direction and this is south direction. Okay, what I have told you, this is south. Okay, so this is north direction, this is south. So this head is south, so it will point towards the south, and this feet is north, so north pole will point towards the north direction. Okay, this is the property of the magnet. That means when a magnet is suspended freely, then it aligns itself along the north-south direction, north-south geographical direction of the earth. Okay, that means north pole will point towards the geographical north and south pole will point towards the geographical south of the earth. And this property is very important because see, this is the property which helped the sailors initially to use the magnet as in form of compass to find the direction. Otherwise, earlier they had faced many difficulties. Okay. Now, fourth property, monopole. Monopole does not exist. Now, what does this mean? See, what is the meaning of this? I'm going to explain you. Suppose you have got a magnet here. This is the north pole and this is the south pole. Okay. Even if you are going to cut it from here, what will happen? You will get two parts. Here north pole was there and this is the other part. Here south pole was there. Okay. What you will find? Here again it will develop south pole, here again it will develop north pole. That means you will never have a single pole. Mono means single. So again you are going to break. Again it will develop north and south pole. Each piece will have north as well as south, both poles. You keep on breaking, you make powder. Even out of that powder, if you take out a small piece, no, you will find that piece will also have north and south, both the poles. That means single pole never exists. Okay, that is what this point states. Now, okay, this north and south poles of the magnet, no, they are not on the end, they are little bit inside. This is the north pole and this is the south pole. So they are little bit inside the magnet. Okay, you will find people are saying north pole is at this end and this end is the south pole. No, it's not like that. South pole is little bit inside and north pole is also little bit inside. You can see here. And this total length is called physical length of the magnet. Suppose physical length is L. Okay, and the distance between this north pole and south pole is, let it be small l. So what do you find? This distance, actually distance between the two poles is called magnetic length of the magnet. It is called, small l is called magnetic length of the magnet. And this capital L, it is called physical length of the magnet. And remember, This magnetic length is always smaller than the physical length of the magnet. Okay. Now, sixth point. Sixth point is that, let me rub this. Sixth point. Sixth point is that when you are taking a magnet, then and you are bringing some ferromagnetic material near it, okay, this is north pole and this is south pole, you will find it will experience maximum force near the pole, here in this region and in this region, and as you move away, here it will feel lesser force, and as you will move away, the force becomes even lesser. So maximum force it exerts over here near the poles, okay, and away from the poles you will find the force decreases. Okay, so that is the sixth point. Okay, and seventh point, this is a very important point. Suppose you have got two magnets, this is north pole of the magnet, this is south pole, and here I have placed another magnet, okay, north pole and here south pole. Similar poles are there in front of each other, then what will happen? They repel each other. Similar poles repel each other, either it is north north or south is facing south like this. They will repel each other, and when unlike poles are there, then they attract each other. So you can write the seventh point: like poles repel each other, whereas unlike poles attract each other. Okay, got it? Okay. See, as we know, no, Earth, we have studied about two types of forces, no? One is contact forces, another is non-contact forces. Like gravitational force is non-contact force. Okay, things fall towards it without any contact. In the same way, we have studied electrostatic force is also non-contact force. And here magnetic force is also non-contact force. And as all three are non-contact forces, we know in case of non-contact forces, field is created. Like in case of gravitation, gravitational field is created by the Earth around it. Okay. In case of charge, electric field is created around it. In case of magnet, it creates a magnetic field. Okay. So our next heading is magnetic field. Okay. Put the heading and start writing the definition. It is similar like that of electric field. Okay. So start writing. The space of influence of a magnet around it is called its magnetic field. The space of influence of a magnet around it is called its magnetic field. Okay. That means, see, if you are keeping a magnet over here, okay, so around it, in whatever space it is able to produce its effect, okay, it is able to attract the other magnetic substances or ferromagnetic substances. That space is called its magnetic field. Okay. And where it is not able to apply its force, that is not within the magnetic field, that is outside the magnetic field. Okay. So it is basically the space. Now next is magnetic field. Okay, very nice. See, magnetic field, it is denoted by B. Okay, B, and has unit Tesla. We write by T. Okay. Now after this, there is a topic: magnetic field lines. Magnetic field lines. Now what are magnetic field lines? The question arises, what is magnetic field lines? See, before writing the definition, I would like to tell you what are magnetic field lines. See here, I would like to explain you. Suppose you have got a magnet over here, no? This is magnet, this is north pole of the magnet. Here it is south pole. And you have placed this on a sheet of paper. Okay. It is fixed over here. Now you are going to place a small magnet. this small magnet, or you can take a compass. You know compass has got a needle, something like this, okay, which is going to indicate towards north and south. So what will happen? The south of this compass needle will come this side. Why? Because north will attract this, and north of this compass needle will be here. So here you can make a mark, okay, and again you lift this compass needle and place it here. You will find its needle is pointed like this, like this. So its south is here and north is here. Again mark a point over here. In this way, if you keep on marking the points, no, near the north pole of the compass and lifting it and placing like that, okay, what you will find? You will find a line like this, and here also if you do, you will find lines like this, okay. Now these lines are what? Actually, suppose it is possible to have a only north pole, although it is not having. Suppose we can take an imaginary north pole and place here. What will happen? It will get repelled by the north pole, so it will move away from it. At the same time, it will get attracted towards south pole, because south pole will attract the north pole, so it will move towards the south pole, okay. So the path which that imaginary north pole is going to follow, or hypothetical north pole is going to follow, that path is called magnetic field line, okay. Understood? The path which the imaginary magnetic north pole is going to follow, that path is called magnetic field line. So it will repelled by this north pole, and that my imaginary north pole, and imaginary north pole will attracted by the south pole. So it will move like this. It will move like this. So it will move away from the north pole and towards the south pole. Okay. So magnetic field lines, they start from north pole and terminate or enter into south pole, outside the magnet. Suppose that imaginary north pole is okay going inside, so it can go like this. Okay, it can travel inside also. Now, so write the definition. Magnetic field lines. No? Start writing. Path traced by an hypothetical unit north pole placed in a magnetic field is called magnetic field line. It's called magnetic field line. Full stop. These are imaginary lines. Okay. Now, next is properties of magnetic field lines. Properties of magnetic field lines. That's what we are going to discuss. Okay. First thing we will write, first point. These are imaginary lines. This is the first property. Okay. These are imaginary lines. Second property. These lines originate. O-R-I-G-I-N-A-T-E. Originate from the North Pole and terminates to South Pole. Outside the magnet. See, suppose this is the magnet and this is the North Pole and this is the South Pole. So outside the magnet, they start from North Pole and end towards the South Pole. Start from North Pole and end towards the South Pole. Outside the magnet. Full stop. Inside the magnet, it enters at South Pole and leaves at North Pole. It enters at South Pole and leaves at North Pole. It is entering at South Pole and leaving at North Pole. Inside the magnet. Okay. Inside the magnet, it enters at South Pole and leaves at North Pole. Third property. the region having high density of magnetic field lines has stronger magnetic field. The region having high density of magnetic field lines has stronger magnetic field. See, it is like this. Suppose these are the magnetic field lines, okay, and you find the density of the magnetic field lines is more over here than here. So suppose magnetic field here is B1 and magnetic field here is B2. So which magnetic field will be more? Obviously B1 will be greater than B2. Why? Because density of lines is more over here. Okay. And here magnetic field will be weaker than this one. Okay. So wherever the density of lines is more, the magnetic field is stronger. Wherever the density of lines is less, the magnetic field is weaker. Okay. Next, the fourth one. Magnetic field lines form closed loop. They form closed loop like this. See, outside the magnet they can go from north to south, and inside the magnet they can go south to north. So it is forming a closed loop or not? See. Okay. So next you can write magnetic field lines form a closed loop. Okay. So now next property, that is fifth one. So fifth property we are going to write. Okay. Fifth point is that these magnetic field lines, they never intersect each other. Why they don't intersect? That question arises. So fifth point you can write, no? Write the different thing. Okay. Fifth point you write direction of magnetic field at any point of magnetic field line is given by a tangent to that point. Direction of magnetic field at any point of magnetic field line is given by a tangent at that point. Like see, suppose this is the magnetic field line and you want to find out the direction of magnetic field at this point. So what you have to do? You have to draw a tangent. So this direction gives, this is the direction of magnetic field at this point. Okay. If at this point you want to find out the direction of magnetic field, so you need to draw a tangent at this point like this. This is the direction of magnetic field at this point. If at this point you want to find out direction of magnetic field, you draw a tangent to this point. So this is the direction of magnetic field at this point. Okay. So at whatever point you want to find out the direction of magnetic field, you draw a tangent to that point of magnetic field line. Okay. And then it gives the direction. Remember, this arrow of the tangent will be in accordance with the direction of magnetic field line. Okay. It should not be opposite to that. Now sixth point. Any two magnetic field lines never intersect. Any two magnetic field lines never intersect. Now why they don't intersect? Suppose they are intersecting. This is one line, this is another line. They are intersecting. Now at this point what will happen? If it is asked to find the direction of magnetic field, so some people can draw tangent to this one. Some people can draw tangent to this curve like this at the same point. So at the same point, same magnetic field will have two different directions, which is not possible. And that's why they never intersect. Okay. Now the next point, seventh point. Magnetic field lines try to contract along its length. Seventh point is what? Magnetic field lines try to contract along its length, comma, which is the prime cause of attraction between opposite poles. Which is the prime cause for attraction between opposite poles. See here. If you are having two magnets here, this is suppose north of this magnet, this is south, and you have got one more magnet here. This is south of this and this is north. What will happen? The lines will start from here and enter here because it goes north to south. As these lines are trying to contract along its length like a rubber band, it is trying to contract. So what will happen? this contraction of these lines will bring these magnets nearer. Okay, and when they are coming nearer, what we call it? We can call it attraction. We call it attraction, no? So due to their contraction along the length, this attraction is caused. Okay. Now, eighth point. Magnetic field lines exert pressure on the neighboring lines. Magnetic field lines exert pressure on the neighboring lines, comma, which is prime cause of repulsion between similar poles. How it is there? See, suppose you have got this is north pole of a magnet, this is south pole, and here you have got north pole of another magnet, and here the south pole. What do you feel? The lines will come out of it. Okay, it cannot go to the north pole. Okay, they come out from north pole also. What they will do? If they are exerting pressure on each other, what we expect? These magnets to move away from each other, and that is repulsion. You might be thinking, when they are putting pressure on each other, why these magnets are moving away? Don't worry. You can do an activity. Okay. Okay. You can see I'm sitting on the chair, and this is the wall in front of me. I'm going to push this wall. You just see what happens. I'm pushing this wall, and you'll find what you see. Am I moving behind while pushing this wall? Can you see this? So separation between me and the wall increases when we are putting pressure on each other, or we are pushing away each other. Okay. The same thing happens here. When these lines, you can see these lines on the board. When these lines exert pressure on each other, these magnets also in the same way move away from each other, and that is the cause of repulsion between them. Okay. See, in class 8th, no, we have studied that an activity we have studied. Okay, what was that activity? That activity was that wire is there, correct wire is there. Okay, and here we have got a battery. Okay, and then what we have got a key over here, and here a compass is placed below this wire, and this compass is showing north-south direction. This is north and this is south. Okay, and what we see, as soon as we close this key, see this key is open, no current is flowing through the circuit. Okay, once we close this key, the circuit is closed and current starts flowing. As current starts flowing, what we find? We find that this needle changes its position. It gets deflected like this. It was initially like this, and now this is the new position of it. So its position changes. And who did this experiment? It was done by Hans Christian Ørsted. Okay. Now he started thinking, why when the current is flowing only, then this magnetic compass needle is changing its position? That means some force starts acting on this needle. And my dear children, the needle of a compass is made up of magnet, and we know that on magnet who can apply force? Either iron or nickel or cobalt or another magnet. Okay, so Ørsted ensured that there was no iron, no nickel, no cobalt. So this possibility was over. So what was there? Only there when the current was flowing through the copper wire, no? Then he found that compass needle is changing its position. Okay, he removed that copper wire and he took the aluminum wire. Then also he found the same effect. So he started thinking, that means somewhere the other way, when current is passing through the copper wire or the aluminum wire, then it behaves like a magnet. Because that was the only possibility left. So after that he gave the statement, any current carrying conductor behaves as a magnet. Okay. So what we came to know, according to Ørsted, that is Hans Christian Ørsted. Okay. Sir, according to him, what we came to know? We came to know that any current carrying conductor is going to behave as a magnet. But you might be thinking, sir, what you are saying? We have seen the wires which used to carry current, no? The wires like this electric wires, okay, which used to carry current. Okay, we don't find any magnetic effect with this. We bring a blade near it, but it never attract it. So how it can be true? My dear children, actually the wires They behave as a magnet, but their magnetic field is very weak, and that's why it is not able to attract your blade. So for that, what you need to do? For that, you need to take a piece of iron, or iron nail you can take, or iron rod you can take, and you can take a very long wire and wrap that wire around it. Okay, and then if current is passing through it, then it will behave as a stronger magnet, and then it is going to attract the blade towards it. Okay, here you are having this, no? Then it will attract the blade towards it, because then it will produce stronger magnetic field. Got it? Okay. In this chapter, we will drawing the pattern of magnetic field lines due to different things. Okay, like a bar magnet. Already I think you have drawn, or you can draw like this. No, this is the North Pole. This is the South Pole. Okay, and magnetic field lines are going like this. It is going like this. Going like this. Going like this. Okay, it is coming like this. Coming like this. Going like this. Remember, it is always coming from the North Pole. Okay? And here it is entering the South Pole. It will come like this and enter. It will come like this and enter. It will come like this and enter. Okay. Now, inside the magnet, what you will find, if we remove this, we don't write over here. Okay. Not this and south here. It's better, because these lines you will find, they are parallel to each other and they are equispaced. Okay. And they are not intersecting each other. Okay, these lines you will find they are parallel, they are equispaced, and they are not intersecting each other. Okay, so this is the pattern of lines for a bar magnet. Just draw this. Where is the density is more? Here, and it is parallel also or equispaced. So the magnetic field inside the magnet is strong as well as uniform. Uniform means same throughout the magnet. Okay, just draw this. Okay. The pattern of magnetic field lines due to a straight current carrying conductor, and the direction of magnetic field, how to find it, what is right hand thumb rule. Okay, these things we will discuss in the next video. Okay, till then, thank you, take care, and remain fit and fine.